you can just upload the code. You can upload the files from GitHub. You can download the GitHub files and then just upload them straight into Gemini. So that's what I would do if you want to work with GitHub files and that sort of thing. That's how I'd recommend it. What else we got here? Should be an e-commerce website, constantly share blog posts and update other content such as FAQs, etc. So here's what I'd recommend is like, if you want to start building that out, right? Let's build that out together. Okay. So let's say you want to build an e-commerce website. So you just go inside here and you can say, okay, build an e-commerce website. Keep it nice and simple. And then, let's say, for example, I don't know, you're selling dog toys or something like that. Right? You can just build that website very quickly inside AI Studio like so. And then for the SEO content as well, what we can do is in the meantime, we'll create one section that's going to build an e-commerce website, right? So this section here inside AI Studio is building out the e-commerce website. Then what we're going to do in a new tab, I'm going to go back to the start. We're going to go over here. I'm going to use Google search data. So we've clicked on the supercharge your apps with AI, selected Google search data. What else have we got here that may be useful? No, I think that's it. I think you're good to go on that, to be honest with you. So what we can do from here is we've got Google search data, Gemini 3 Pro preview, and inside here, we just describe what idea we want. So let's say, for example, we want to create an AI SEO agent that writes optimized posts, etc., right? Or writes optimized posts for my dog toys website. You could just type it in like this. I'm actually going to put for my e-commerce website, right? So that like when I create this tool, I can share it with the web and anyone can use this for their e-commerce website. So I'm going to say AI SEO agent writes, optimizes, and posts for my e-commerce website, right? And I'm going to put blog content, my e-commerce website, right? We'll hit build over here, and now we're building two SaaS tools side by side, right? So number one is the actual website for the e-commerce store, and number two is the actual tool to create the SEO content, right? So we're building these out side by side, and that way we can start using Google AI Studio to cover both the SEO content and also website itself. Odyssey says, is that a recorded video or live? Of course it's a live, mate. You think I'm not just going to play a recorded video here on a live stream? Like this is Julian Goldie, the real McCoy in the flesh, my friends. And then Ashley says, I had the best experience with Google Build so far by a big margin. I would agree. Thoughts on Grok 4.1 thinking? If it's anything like anything else I've seen from Grok, I'm just not going to use it. Like, I don't know if you've seen my other live streams or other videos on Grok 4.1. If you haven't, check them out. But honestly, pretty disappointing. Just not that interesting. Not as good as I think here's an example of that website we just built on the spot. But the main thing to note here is like Google AI Studio and pretty much all of the Google products are absolute beasts, right? They're indestructible beasts. You look at, okay, who's the best in the world for creating videos right now with AI? Well, it's Veo, which is owned by Google. Who's the best in the world for creating images? Well, it's Nano Banana Pro, which is owned by Google, right? Who's the best for creating very simple SaaS tools? Well, it's Google, right? And AI Studio. The only thing that I don't think Google wins on is writing content. I much prefer Claude. But apart from everything else, I think Google is a go. So blog posts and product descriptions, right? So you just type in the topic, type in the keywords, type in the audience, change your tone, and then boom, you've got a better SaaS tool than most SEO tools out, right? So it's crazy stuff. And Asher says, man, it's not crazy to say Google is on top even before ChatGPT. Yeah, I would agree. And if we go over here, we've got the content set up, right? So we can configure our AI agent to research and write. Now, how do we start doing this, right? So we can switch over to blog post here. Then we can plug in whatever we want. So I'm going to put in product description, and then we're going to say, okay, first time round. So it's analyzing the search data using Google over here. It's created the meta description, it's created the title, and it's created the content. Boom. We just created SEO content and an AI SEO content creator along with the website itself in like one click, right? How insanely easy was that?